following is a presentation of WCYT Sports.
Laughlin the rebound. The clock hits 0. The Spartans are state champions. They avenge the loss from 2 years ago, and they'll take home a state championship.
Hands it off to Grant Raver, going up the 15, down to the 5. Gets into the end zone for Homestead. 15-yard run for Grant Raver. Gets Homestead on the board.
Trying to get inside. Nothing there. Step back. Open 3. It's gone. Todd Curry knocks it down. Spartans win. Spartans win.
On your dial at 91.1 FM and online at WCYT.org, it's time for the action of Homestead Spartan Athletics.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live from Homestead High School for this evening's girls basketball sectional championship game featuring the 16-7 Southside Archers, who are coached by Juanita Goodwell, who was in her 10th season at Southside, and the 23-3 number 5 Homestead Lady Spartans, who are coached by Rod Parker, who was in his 18th season at Homestead. Hello once again, everyone. I'm Matt Salfrick alongside Donnie Harmon, and we are just about 13 minutes away from tip-off of tonight's game. So right now, let's start with the Casa Ristorante pregame show. And Donnie, last night we saw Homestead completely destroy the Wayne Generals by a score of 76-13 as the Lady Spartans advanced to tonight's sectional championship game. Wayne ended the season with only 1 win on the year, as last night's score was not very surprising. Homestead held Wayne to a season low in points, along with passing its largest margin of victory this season, as it now sits at 63 points. Homestead's road to a state championship will not get any easier, but the Lady Spartans started the postseason off right with a dominant win over a conference opponent.
Well, it's definitely not going to get any easier. It's hard to get much easier than that, but starting night with Southside is going to be a string of very tough games if they want to advance far in the tournament. But going back to the game against Wayne, Homestead really played a great defensive game. Wayne played a solid game on the half-court defensive end and on the glass, but Homestead just got out in fast break too much for the Wayne Generals and played great defense, and that's what Homestead, that's what could take them far in the tournament. They're not a great shooting team, but their defense is stellar and maybe one of the best in the state. So that's what's going to, their bread and butter, what could take them very far in this tournament. But it's going to be a tough task at hand because starting tonight with the Southside Lady Archers is going to be very tough games. If they win this one, they'll go on to regionals. They'd face the winner of the Harrison West Lafayette regional, or sectional, so it's going to be very tough from here on out. They would have to get through Hamilton Southeastern Regional, so it's going to get very tough for the Homestead Lady Spartans. But if they play like they did against Wayne tonight, they should be able to make it to regionals.
And that's going to take us to our first break of the night, but when we come back, we'll take a look into what we will see from Homestead's opponent this evening, the 16-7 Southside Lady Archers. We'll talk about how Southside made it to tonight's championship game. So stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Homestead Lady Spartan Basketball, The Point 91 FM.
Homestead athletic coverage on The Point 91 FM is brought to you by
Arby's at Coventry, located at 5755 Falls Drive across from Zesto's. Arby's is more than roast beef with turkey, ham, brisket, bacon, chicken tenders. Arby's has the meats. Arby's at Coventry is open for breakfast at 6 a.m. all the way to midnight. To find more information, find Arby's on social media and online at arbys.com.
Casa Italian Restaurants, family owned and operated since 1977, with 4 Fort Wayne locations: West Jefferson Boulevard, DuPont Road, Parnell Avenue, and Stellhorn Road. Featuring the Casa Burro salad, wood-burning brick oven pizzas, and over 30 pasta selections. Dine-in or carry-out available, or let Casa cater your next special occasion. Find more information at CasaRestaurants.com or by following Casa on Facebook and Twitter. Casa Italian Restaurants, a proud sponsor of WCYT Sports broadcasts.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco's specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carry out by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
Moe's Southwest Grill, located at 6739 West Jefferson Boulevard next to Dunkin' Donuts Baskin Robbins. You can contact Moe's by dialing 969 Moe's, or for catering, that number is 969-EATS. Moe's specializes in southwestern food like burritos, tacos, and nachos with no microwaves or freezers. You can contact Moe's online at moes.com. Thank you, Moe's, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
And now, let's head back out to the gymnasium for more Homestead Lady Spartan basketball, right here on the Point 91 FM.
Welcome back live to Homestead High School for tonight's girls basketball sectional championship featuring the number 5 Homestead Lady Spartans and the Southside Lady Archers. I'm Matt Selfrank alongside Donnie Harmon, continuing on in the Casa Ristorante pregame show. And Donnie, tonight Homestead will take on Southside in what will be their third matchup between these teams this season. Homestead has won the previous 2 matchups, but only by an average of 14 points. Southside beat Huntington North last Tuesday by 30 points and knocked off Muncie Central by 48 points to advance to tonight's sectional championship. What can we expect to see from the Southside team tonight?
Well, we can expect to see a lot of J.C. Jones, the junior guard, leads the team in scoring, and she's had some of her best games of the season lately. The last game of the regular season against Bishop Dwenger, she had 34 points, a season high for her, including a school record 9 threes. And then last night against Muncie Central, I believe she scored 30. So J.C. Jones, someone who can be very, very deadly in them. The Lady Archers want to pull the upset in this one. They're going to have to rely on her to have a big night, because if she doesn't, it could be very tough for them. And Olivia Smith, the freshman point guard, she's also a very good player. Leads the team or second on the team in scoring 10.9 points per game. She can shoot it inside and from beyond the arc. So she's someone who could be huge for them tonight. And then the Southside team, you can expect them to be very good on the glass. They're a very strong team, have a lot of big players out there, so they can get the rebounds. Aliyah Chapman, a very versatile player, averages over 10 a game, but she also has over 5 rebounds, and she's a perimeter player as well. So they got a lot of versatile players, 3 people averaging over 5 rebounds a game in Aliyah Chapman, Talasia Morris, and Lamaya Woodson. So they have size, they have strength, they're a good defensive team. And they also have some good perimeter players in Olivia Smith and J.C. Jones. So those players all going to be very key, and they're going to have to click in all aspects of the game in this one if they want to pull the upset. But we can expect Southside to come out here, play very hard. It's going to be a tough game, I can guarantee you that. It'll probably be a very emotional game. Homestead eliminated in sectionals last year by Southside. Southside looking to pull the upset again. Lost the first 2 matchups this year to Homestead, so they're looking to win this, get their elusive first win against the Spartans this year, as they lost their first 2 games by double figures each. So Southside should be playing a very emotional game. They're going to have to channel that into a passion in this one and play a good game, shoot the ball well, and rebound. So Southside, it's going to take a lot for them to win this one, but they're a very good team, 16-7 on the year. The second best team in conference, they sit at 7-2. So this is going to be a tough game for Southside, tough game for Homestead as well. I think Homestead is probably the clear favorite in this one, but Southside a very tough team. And if Homestead has an off night and Southside plays good, we could see an upset.
And these teams have played 2 games against each other this season, and in both of those first halves combined, Southside outscored Homestead by 1 point, 35-34, and in the second half, Homestead has outscored Southside by 29 points, 57-28. So Homestead really takes over in the second half. They start out pretty slow on the offensive end in the first half, mainly the first quarter or so, and that's going to take us to our second break of the night. But when we come back, we will take a look around the area for some of the other sectional matchups going on. But first, you will get the chance to hear my sit-down with Homestead head coach Rod Parker. So stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Homestead Spartan basketball, the Point 91 FM.
Homestead Athletic coverage on the Point 91 FM is brought to you by
Marco's Pizza, located at 1345 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carry out by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
Welcome back to the pregame show. I'm now joined by Homestead Spartan girls basketball coach Rod Parker. And Coach, last night we saw your team knock off Wayne by quite a wide margin. What are your thoughts on the team's performance in that game?
Well, last night was a difficult game, obviously, because it got lopsided quickly and early. But I thought in general we did a lot of good things on the offensive end, executing. Defensively, I thought we were solid. We kind of gambled a little bit at times just by nature of the score. But, in general, it was a game we had to play. We had to go out there and try and get better. And I think in some areas of basketball, we did.
And tonight your team will be taking on a familiar opponent in Southside. What have you seen from the Lady Archers since you last played?
Well, they're playing good basketball right now. They've been scoring a lot of points the last 3 or 4 games. J.C. Jones has really been shooting it well. So they've really picked up their offensive output lately. So, we're going to have to do a great job on our defensive end to force them to take tough shots, and then we're really going to have to rebound the basketball.
Is there any disadvantage of playing a team you've beat twice during the season for a third time?
The thing about Southside is we're very familiar with each other over the years. It's a big rivalry, same conference, same sectional. So, naturally, we play each other twice every year, and this year just happens to be 3 times. So, the big thing is each of us will probably make some changes tonight, and it's going to come down to who can adjust well enough and get the ball in the basket.
Are you comfortable if the tempo is high-paced tonight, or would you rather it be played like the previous 2 games in a lower pace?
Well, the previous 2 games were played at a much slower pace than I probably would have anticipated going into the first matchup with Southside. And, for me, either way, I think we can play in either type of game. If it's up pace today, I think that can play to our advantage because I think we do defend well, and it gives us some more offensive possessions. And if it's a slower pace game, we're going to have to hunker down and play great defense and really value our offensive possessions.
And J.C. Jones is someone for the Lady Archers who has really caught fire from beyond the arc. How do you plan to limit her on the defensive end?
Yeah, she's really playing well right now. So we're going to have to make sure that we know where she's at all times. In our man defense, we're going to have to switch off some of their ball screens just to make sure she doesn't get easy looks. And then if we do any type of zone scheming tonight, we're going to really have to shade her side and know where she's at to make her shots challenging.
Homestead and Southside have really been the class of Northeast Indiana in the last 10 years in girls basketball. From a coaching perspective, what is it like playing in a game against this program with the stakes as high as it is tonight?
Well, first of all, it's fun. Obviously you want to win these type of basketball games, but it's a great environment. It's a big rivalry going back for many years now. So, to be in a sectional final against Southside really prepares you for anything, further in the tournament that you would get hopefully an opportunity to play in because of the excitement, the energy, and so on that's going to be out there tonight.
Finally, Coach, what are some keys for a Homestead Spartan victory?
Well, I think we have to shoot the basketball well. They zoned us the last couple times. They really tried packing it in on us. So hopefully if they go with that route again today, that we shoot the basketball well from the perimeter, try and loosen up that zone. And then defensively, we've got to make sure that we do a great job of not allowing second chance points and don't give J.C. Jones or Olivia Smith easy looks on the perimeter. We've got to challenge them.
All right, Coach. Thanks and good luck this evening.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more of the Casa Ristorante pregame show leading up to tip-off of tonight's sectional championship. It's Homestead and Southside right here on your Spartan Sports Source, The Point 91 FM.
Arby's at Coventry, located at 5755 Falls Drive across from Zesto's. Arby's is more than roast beef with turkey, ham, brisket, bacon, chicken tenders. Arby's has the meats. Arby's at Coventry is open for breakfast at 6 a.m. all the way to midnight. To find more information, find Arby's on social media and online at arbys.com.
And now, let's head back out to the gymnasium for more Homestead Lady Spartan basketball, right here on The Point 91 FM.
Welcome back live to Homestead High School for tonight's girls basketball sectional championship featuring the number 5 ranked Homestead Lady Spartans and their opponent, the Southside Archers. I'm Matt Selfrick alongside Donnie Harmon, continuing on in the Casa Ristorante pregame show and taking a look around the conference for some other sectional games. Last night we saw Northrop defeat DeKalb and Carroll defeat Snyder. That was kind of the game of the night, I would say. 2 of the hottest teams in the SAC aside from Homestead, but Carroll's the one who gets the win. And then last night we saw Homestead destroy Wayne, Southside destroy Muncie Central as those 2 teams meet up in the game about to take place in a few minutes. And we also had Marion defeat Bishop Lures 50-41 last night. Which of those games that took place last night are interesting to you?
Well, Marion Bishop Lures, that was a matchup I had my eye on. Marion, a quality team. Bishop Lures, another very good team. So that was an interesting game. And then Carroll at Snyder, I actually thought Snyder was going to win that sectional the way they've been playing, but Carroll's a decent team. Probably the weakest sectional in the class in the state, so a weak sectional there. I expect Carroll to end up winning that one after beating Snyder.
And that's going to take us to our final break before tip-off as we will take a short pause for the national anthem. And when we come back, we will have starting lineups and keys to the game. Tip-off between Homestead and Southside is just a few minutes away. So stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Homestead Spartan Basketball, The Point 91 FM.
Homestead Athletic coverage on The Point 91 FM is brought to you by
Arby's at Coventry, located at 5755 Falls Drive across from Zesto's. Arby's is more than roast beef with turkey, ham, brisket, bacon, and chicken tenders. Arby's has the meats. Arby's at Coventry is open for breakfast at 6 a.m. all the way to midnight. To find more information, find Arby's on social media and online at arbys.com.
Casa Italian Restaurants, family owned and operated since 1977, with 4 Fort Wayne locations: West Jefferson Boulevard, DuPont Road, Parnell Avenue, and Stellhorn Road, featuring the Casa Burro salad, wood-burning brick oven pizzas, and over 30 pasta selections. Dine-in or carry-out available, or let Casa cater your next special occasion. Find more information at CasaRestaurants.com or by following Casa on Facebook and Twitter. Casa Italian Restaurants, a proud sponsor of WCYT sports broadcasts.
Okay, here are 3 important reasons why your son or daughter should play a sport in high school.
Number 1.
High school sports teach valuable life lessons like self-discipline and time management skills.
2.
Teens who play a high school sport have better grade point averages.
And number 3.
High school sports are safer than ever before.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Moe's Southwest Grill, located at 6739 West Jefferson Boulevard, next to Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin-Robbins. You can contact Moe's by calling 969-MOE's, or for catering, that number is 969-EATS. Moe's specializes in Southwestern foods like burritos, tacos, and nachos with no microwaves or freezers. You can visit Moe's online at moes.com. Thank you, Moe's, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead Athletic coverage on our station.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco's specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carry-out by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics covered on our station.
And now, let's head back out to the gymnasium for more Homestead Lady Spartan basketball right here on the Point 91 FM.
Welcome back live to Homestead High School. We're just moments away from tip-off between Homestead and Southside in the sectional final matchup, and let's transition to some starting lineups, and starting with the fifth-ranked team in Class 4A, Homestead Lady Spartans. It'll be Kira Geely and Solaire Starks in the backcourt. Both of those players are seniors for this Lady Spartan school. Haley Swing, another starter for the Spartans. She scored a season-high 15 points against Wayne last night. Sydney Graber and Anna Patterson, the 6'3" freshman, to round out the starting 5 for the Spartans. Moving on to Southside, it'll be Olivia Smith, JC Jones, and Alea Chapman, probably the 3 best players on this team, where numbers 1, 2, and 3, you don't really see that. The best players wearing numbers based on how they're ranked. And another player, Darian Hackbar, the 5'7" senior guard, and Lamaya Woodson, the 5'11" sophomore center, round out the starting 5 for Southside. And Donnie, what are your keys to the game?
Well, for Southside, I think the key for the game is play good defense. Hope Homestead gets an off shooting night, and JC Jones has to play big. If Southside just plays passive, doesn't have one person really step up, that could be a problem for them. But they're going to need one of those magical JC Jones performances that she's had in recent games in this one if they want to win. Then for Homestead, you just got to knock down some shots. You don't have to have the best shooting game ever, but you got to knock down open shots when they come. Play good defense, which you can obviously count on the Lady Spartans to do that, and then just rebound the ball, stay out of foul trouble, just play a good fundamental game. But for Southside, they definitely have the tougher task at hand tonight.
This will be the 3rd matchup between these teams this season, as Homestead beat Southside 43-30 in the SAC Holiday Tournament Championship game back at the end of December. Then they played about 6 days later when they beat Southside again 48-33. That one was at Homestead. This game was also at Homestead, but it's the postseason. Homestead is the site of the sectional, so technically not a home game for the Spartans, but somewhat is played on their home court. Homestead 23-3 on the season, 9-0 in the SAC regular season, and Southside 16-7 overall, 7-2 in the SAC. The top 2 teams in the conferences. We are about ready for tip-off between Homestead and Southside in the sectional championship game. For Homestead to tip, it'll be Ayanna Patterson, the 6'3" freshman guard, leads the team in points, rebounds, blocks, turnovers, and field goal percentage. And to jump for the Southside Archers, it'll be Lamaya Woodson, the 5'11" sophomore center, leads the team in rebounds and blocks. Tip is up and controlled. It's actually tipped out of bounds. 0-0, 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Homestead and Southside. It's Southside ball. Hackbarth inbound on the sideline for the Lady Archers. Jones has it for Southside. She's a very dangerous scorer. Gives it back over to Hackbarth on the right side. Back up to Jones. Guarded by Geely. Gets a screen from Smith. Jones hands it over to Smith. Smith for 3. That is no good. Ball tipped around. Recovered by the Spartans as Haley Swing corrals the rebound. Starks has it for the Spartans. Gives it over to Geely. Back to Graber in the left corner. Back to Geely. Starks on the right side now. Guarded by Jones. Starks drives inside. Throws up a shot. That is no good. Hackbarth the rebound for the Archers. Jones has the ball now. Bounce pass over to Hackbarth, the three-pointer. That's in and out, no good. Rebound for Homestead, 0-0, 7:17 to go in the first quarter. Neither team has scored yet. Geely has it for the Spartans, gives it over to Graber in the left corner now. Graber, just pass over to Geely, back to Graber. Graber looks for a teammate, can't find anyone, eventually finds Swing at the top of the key. Swing bounce pass over to Geely on the right side. Down low to Graber, and she scores the first basket of the game. Sydney Graber makes the shot right under the basket. It's 2-0 Homestead, 6:50 to go in the first quarter. Jones with the ball for the Archers now, gives it off to Hackbarth on the right side. Dangerous pass down low to Chapman. She scores down low. Like Chapman, the 5'10" junior forward, scores for Southside. 2-2, 6:36 to go in the first quarter. Southside now in a full court press. Graber with it for the Spartans on the left side. Picks up her dribble. Over to Swing now. Swing drives inside the paint. She puts up a shot that is no good. Patterson gets the rebound for the Spartans. She's under the basket. Throws up a shot. That's an air ball. Swing gets the offensive rebound and she puts it back in. It's 4-2 Homestead. 6:15 to go in the first quarter in the sectional final matchup. JC Jones has the ball for Southside. The team's leading scorer now gives it over to Hackbarth on the right side. Back up to Olivia Smith, the freshman for Southside. At the top of the key, guarded closely by Geely. Back out to Jones. She's a very dangerous three-point threat. She knocked down 9 three-pointers in the game a few weeks ago. Jones beyond the arc, kicks it over to Hackbarth in the left corner. Back up to Jones. Dangerous pass as somehow Hackbarth gets it over to Chapman now at the top of the key, guarded by Swing. Hackbarth does a fancy spin move, throws up a hook shot. That's no good. Rebound for the Spartans. Starks has it. Pass over to Geely, over to Graber. Graber drives along the baseline, throws it back out for Geely. Starks, top of the key, three. That is no good. Rebound fought for, it's knocked out of bounds. They will say that it stays with Homestead. It's 4-2. Homestead leaves a 2-point advantage for the Spartans. 5:23 to go in the first quarter in the sectional championship.
Very exciting game so far. Lots of energy in the building. Highly anticipated matchup. We saw this one coming all season long.
As I believe Ayanna Patterson is tying her shoe. All right, we're going to go now. 4-2 Homestead, 5:23 to go in the first quarter. Geely inbound for the Spartans. Geely looks. Bounce pass to Patterson. Along the right baseline. Patterson. Pass to Graber. Below the basket. Graber scores again under the basket. Sydney Graber now with 4 points. Homestead leads 6-2, 5:10 to go in the first quarter. Southside trailing by 4 as the freshman Smith has the ball in her hands with the Spartan logo. Smith leads the team and steals the team's second leading scorer. Now hands it off to Chapman. Back over to Smith. Left corner for Hackbarth, guarded by Patterson. Jones has it now for the Archers. Gives it over to Hackbarth, who drives inside, kicks it back out for Woodson, a deep two. That is no good. Rebound goes to the Spartans. Starks has it. Homestead up by 4, 4:40 to go in the first quarter. Graber down low. She scores again. Sydney Graber with her third basket of the game. It's 8-2 Homestead over Southside. 4:33 to go in the first quarter. Sydney Graber really heating up from the field. Already 6 of the team's 8 points this one as Homestead has a 6-point lead over Southside about halfway through the first quarter.
And Southside right now, the key for them is you got to keep Homestead out of the paint. You got to make them beat you from the perimeter. Homestead not a very good three-point shooting team, just 34% on the year. The bread and butter is down low in the paint. So Southside, you got to prevent them from getting in there. Got to prevent them from getting out in transition. And you got to make them beat you from outside because right now Sydney Graber getting too many easy looks inside. And if you let Homestead do this, they could run away with it.
And Southside or Homestead has won the sectional every year since 2006. So it's basically been a 2-team sectional. We know how Wayne usually plays Huntington North. I would say a below average team. Muncie Central also a below average team. Then you have 2 very good teams the past 10 years or so in Homestead and Southside. But it's the Spartans who lead 8-2, 4:33 to go in the first quarter of the sectional championship game. Chapman has it now. She leads the team in turnovers 2 a game. Gives it over to Smith on the right side, guarded by Starks. Smith passes over to Hackbarth, now in the right corner. Jones on the right side, goes between her legs. At the free throw line, hands it off for Smith, beyond the arc. Jones now in the left side. Jones picks up her dribble again. Throws it over to Smith. who holds the ball now. 8-2. Homestead leads. 4:05 to go in the first quarter. Smith at the top of the key, guarded by Starks. Now with the Spartan logo again, we're used to seeing teams hold the ball for quite a bit of time in Homestead athletics. Smith has it. She drives inside, puts up the one-handed floater, and she scores. Olivia Smith scores the basket for Southside. It's now 8-4. Homestead leads. Southside cuts the deficit to 4. 3:45 to go in the first quarter. Haley swing over to Solaire Starks. Still a full court press out for the Southside. Keeley now has it. Passes over to Starks. Homestead with a 4-point advantage. 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Swing has it. Below the basket. She scores again. Haley Swing scored 15 points last night against Wynn. A season high. She scores right there as Smith on the other end takes a deep three. Bullseye! Olivia Smith knocks down the three-pointer for Southside. It's now a 3-point game. Homestead 10, Southside 7. 3:10 to go in the first quarter. Swing has it on the right side for the Spartans. Picks up her dribble, hands it off to Geely, over to Starks now on the left side. Starks goes behind her back, step back, jump shot. She got it! Solaire Starks with the deep 2-point shot. It's 12-7. Homestead leads. 2:52 to go in the first quarter. Smith throws it over to Chapman now. Homestead with the 5-point advantage. 2:44 to go in the first quarter. 12-7. The Spartans lead. Jones now has it. J.C. Jones, a 5'6" junior, on the right corner, guarded closely by Geely. Jones finds Hackbart down low, and they say a foul is called on Homestead. So Hackbart was able to go down low. They say that foul was on Ayanna Patterson. That was her first foul of the game, the first foul of the game for either team. So Darren Hackbart will go to the free throw line for Southside at 12-7. Make that 12-8. Homestead leads. Southside only down by 4 now. 2:29 to go in the first quarter.
And Homestead got off to the hot start, but Southside's done a good job of responding on the offensive end. And Olivia Smith has really stepped up.
Hackbart knocks down the free throw. It's now a 3-point ball game. 2:29 to go in the first quarter. Homestead with a 12-9 lead over Southside. Patterson has the ball for the Spartans. Gives it over to Starks. Now Geely at the Spartan logo. Raber on the right side, guarded by the much smaller Smith. Patterson over to Geely in the left corner. Geely takes it back out beyond the arc. Starks drives inside. Another mid-range jump shot. That's off the back of the iron. Rebound goes to the Archers as Jones has it along the right side. Jones, the team's leading scorer, hands it over to Smith. Team's second leading scorer, averages nearly 11 points a game. Now Chapman has the 5'10" junior forward. Back to Smith. Guarded by Starks. 12-9. Homestead leads. 1:45 to go in the first. Jones, step back three. Bullseye! J.C. Jones ties the game at 12 apiece. Homestead and Southside tied. 1:35 to go in the first quarter. On the other end of the court, Solaire Starks is fouled. J.C. Jones just knocked down an extremely deep three-pointer. That was from NBA range. It's now tied at 12 apiece, 1:32 to go in the first quarter. But Solaire Starks will go to the free throw line. That foul was on Alea Chapman for Southside.
You can't say enough about the way Southside has responded to the early Homestead run, going on a run of their own and knocking down all the big shots they have to stay in it.
Solaire Starks knocks down the first free throws. Ayanna Patterson checks out as Riley Parker checks in for the Spartans. Solaire Starks, usually a 77% free throw shooter, knocks down both there. It's now 14-12. Homestead leads. 1:32 to go in the first quarter as Morris checks in for Chapman for the Archers. Southside ball. Jones picks it up, who just knocked down that extremely deep three-pointer. Mentioned she knocked down 9 three-pointers in one game a few weeks ago against Bishop Dwenger. On her way to a season-high 34 points in that one. Jones with it on the left side now, guarded by Starks. Bounce pass down low is stolen by the Spartans as Starks stole it. Crosses the timeline. Starks on the other end of the court. A one-handed shot as she lays it in under the basket. It's now 16-12. Homestead leads over Southside. 1:03 to go in the first quarter. Smith has it now. For the Archer, she goes inside. She puts up a shot. That's an air ball. Hoping to draw the foul. No call there. It will be Homestead ball. 16-12. They lead, a 4-point advantage for the Spartans. 57 seconds to go in the opening quarter of the sectional championship. Keeley over to swing. Crosses the timeline. Starks has it at the Spartan logo Now Geely calls out a play for this offense. Homestead, they lead by 4. 44 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Riley Parker, her own 3. That is no good. Rebound tipped around. That goes to Woodson. Jones now has it. 34 seconds to go. Jones drives inside the paint. They call a foul on Homestead. 16-12, the Spartans lead. 4-point lead for Homestead. 32.9 seconds to go in the first quarter. And that foul was called on Kara Geely. That was her first for Homestead as Grace Sullivan checks in for the first time in this game. Kara Geely checks out for the Spartans.
You have to be impressed with the composure of both teams in this first quarter, responding very well to runs from either team.
Morris inbounds to Smith, who gives it over to Hackbarth now. Over to Jones in the left quarter, down to 26 seconds to go in the first quarter. Homestead the 4-point lead. Hackbarth has it, guarded by Sullivan. Gets a screen. Another foul called on Homestead there. 16-12, the Spartans lead. 19.1 seconds to go in the first quarter. That foul was on Grace Sullivan, who just checked into the game. That's her first and third team foul. Hackbarth inbound for the Archers, gives it over to Jones in the left quarter. Jones, bad pass is nearly stolen, but Southside got it back. His swing somehow recovers it. I believe they will call a foul on the other way. I thought that could have been a jump ball call right there. I believe that foul was called on J.C. Jones, Southside's best player. Team's leading score 16-12. Homestead leads 9.9 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Homestead ball at the full court. Sullivan now on the left side. Picks up a dribble, finds Starks. 6 seconds to go. Starks takes a three-pointer. Knocks it down. Solaire Starks knocks down a three-pointer to end the first quarter as Homestead leads 19-12. A 7-point advantage for the Spartans after one. And in the previous 2 games that these teams have played this season, Homestead's offense has really not done too much in the first half at all. But in the first quarter, they scored 19 points. Both Southside's only 12. Very impressive play from the Spartans.
Very impressive play from the Spartans. Southside had a good run after they got down early. But so far, it's in a much faster-paced game than we saw the last 2 times these teams played. Last 2 times with a lot of held ball, a lot of just long possessions and defensive battles. And the last time it was at the end of the SAC Holiday Tournament, the first time they met. So team's a little worn out by then, but right now both teams looking a little better on the offensive end, shooting the ball well. J.C. Jones, Olivia Smith with some big shots for Southside. And Sydney Graber, Haley Swing, and Solaire Starks really carrying the load for the Spartans. They've done all the scoring for them. And Solaire Starks, this senior going to Detroit, has had a bit of a down year compared to last year, but she's having a great performance right now in a big game.
This Homestead team held Southside to their 2 lowest point totals of the season when they met previously. They scored 30 points the first time these teams met. Southside did, and they scored 33 the second time they met about a week later. But Homestead leads this one 19-12 after the first quarter over Southside in the sectional championship. The winner of this will play in a regional semifinal next Saturday against the winner of the Zionsville sectional. The way the scores look right now, it looks like they'll play Zionsville. They were dominating in the first quarter, but back to this game. Riley Parker with the ball for the Spartans. On the right side, bounce pass over to Sullivan. She finds Graber. Below the basket, bounce pass to Patterson as Patterson puts up a shot that's no good. Rebound goes to the Archers as Jones has it. Over to Smith now on the left side. I believe a foul is called on Homestead. That was Riley Parker with the foul, her first, the team's 4th. 19-12, Homestead leads 7:39 to go in the second quarter. Morris to inbound for the Archers. Bounce pass. Dangerous bounce pass, as they say, was knocked out of bounds by Homestead. Coach Rod Parker not too happy with that call. The Homestead fans here aren't too happy with that call.
Had a pretty good look at that. It looked like it was clearly tipped off of J.C. Jones there, so I'm not too sure about that one.
19-12, the Spartans lead. Homestead by 7. 7:37 to go in the second quarter. Smith gets the ball for Southside. Crosses the timeline now, guarded by Parker, who just picked up a foul. Smith now on the right side of the court. Goes inside the paint, puts up a shot in the lane, and she got it. Olivia Smith knocks down the shot. It's now a 5-point lead for the Spartans. 19-14, 7:15 to go in the second quarter. Starks now. The ball is stolen. I believe that was Morris. Jones over to Morris. They say that she lost it. So Southside with the steal as we have a few substitutions. Kara Geely and Brianna Lucas check in for the Spartans as Grace Sullivan, Sydney Graber go to the bench. 19-14 Homestead leads, 7:06 to go in the second quarter. Homestead ball in the full court. Southside in a full court press as Lucas inbounds to Solaire Starks. Back to Lucas. Now Patterson, the freshman, has it over to the senior Starks. Starks on the left side of the court. She passes to Geely. 19-14, Homestead leads, 6:52 to go in the second quarter. Starks along the baseline, jump shot. She drills it. Solaire Starks shooting the ball well in this one. 21-14, Homestead leads, 6:42 to go in the second quarter. Jones now near half court along the left sideline. Jones goes inside the arc, one-handed layup, and she got it and the foul. I believe J.C. Jones will get a chance for a three-point play. That foul was on Kara Geely. That's her second personal foul of the game as Haley Swing checks in for Riley Parker.
So you can't say enough about the killer instinct of J.C. Jones. Whenever Southside needs a bucket, she can just go out there, knock down a three, drive to the hoop. She gets you those big buckets whenever you need them.
Jones will have one free throw, chance to complete the and one. She misses it. Rebound goes to the Spartans. Homestead leads by 5. 21-16, under 6:30 to go in the second quarter. Geely now with 2 fouls for the Spartans. Hands it off to Starks, who kicks it over to Geely. Gets a screen from Lucas. Geely now. Bounce pass is stolen. That was Woodson with the steal. Homestead a few turnovers. Jones with the ball now. She drives inside. A pass was trying to go to Chapman, but she lost it. Homestead with the steal. Patterson on the other end of the court, and she scores, and the foul, they will say that is on the floor. That is not a shooting foul. Southside fans thought that was a travel, but Patterson scored the basket, and a foul was committed. They say it was on the floor, so she will not go to the line, and no free throws incoming.
I'm not too sure about that one. Patterson, I don't think she jumped yet, but she was about to go up with the shot. She had finished the process, I think. A 50-50 call. That one benefits Southside.
Hackbark comes in for Morris for Southside. Geely to inbound. She eventually finds Starks. Homestead with a 5-point lead. 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. 21-16 in the sectional championship. Lucas throws it over to Swing. Geely now near half court. Swing has it over to Geely. Left corner three. She knocks it down. Homestead shooting the ball very, very well from beyond the arc tonight. They usually don't shoot it too well. Only a 34% beyond the arc on the season, but quite a few three-pointers here. Kara Geely scores her first points of the game. Jones takes a deep three for Southside. That's too strong. Rebound goes to the Spartans as Starks has it. Homestead with the 8-point advantage. 24-16, 5:23 to go in the second quarter. Swing now in the right corner, guarded by Jones. Lucas has it over to Geely, who just knocked down the three-pointer for the Spartans. In the left corner, bounce pass to Patterson under the basket, and Patterson shot in and out. No good as Southside grabs the rebound. Jones gives it over to Smith on the right side. She drives inside, one-handed shot, another air ball for Smith. I believe they say that one was tipped. Actually, they will just give that one to Homestead. There was a foul called on Lamaya Woodson for Southside. That's her second personal foul as Riley Parker, Sydney Graber check in as Lucas and Geely check out for the Spartans as Morris checks in for Woodson for the Archers. 24-16, Homestead leads. 5 minutes to go in the second quarter in the sectional championship game. Graber has the ball for the Spartans. Starks still hasn't crossed half court. Patterson finally crosses the timeline. Patterson under the basket, and she misses the layup. Patterson had an easy path to the basket, and she just missed it. A jump ball is called. 24-16, Homestead leads, an 8-point lead for the Spartans. 4:46 to go in the second quarter.
Ayanna Patterson having a really rough go of things here early in this one, struggling, missing a lot of open shots.
Jones, dangerous cross-court path over to Hackbarth as Graber got knocked down. Believe Southside ball on the sideline as Smith with it. 24-16, Homestead leads, 4:38 to go in the second quarter. Smith, the 5'5" freshman point guard, team's second leading scorer, goes inside the paint. One-handed floating shot as rolls around the rim. No good. Patterson gives it to Swing. Patterson now has it across the timeline. Patterson on the other end of the court, and they will say that is a charge as Patterson called with the offensive foul. Southside fans going crazy here. 24-16, 4:21 to go in the second quarter. Patterson called for his second foul of the game.
And Patterson right now trying to force it a bit too much, getting a little frustrated with some of these misses. And she's just making some bad decisions right now.
Jones crosses the timeline for Southside. Gives it off to Hackbarth in the right corner. Gives it right back to Jones, the team's leading scorer. Jones to the top of the key. Passes over to Hackbarth in the left corner, who drives inside. Shot is rejected by Patterson as it's going the other way. Patterson was nearly called for a third foul of the game as Lucas checks in for Patterson for the Spartans. That foul was on Hackbarth, their first of the game. So it will, actually, Patterson cannot check in yet, I guess. Lucas still not into the game. So Patterson's still out there. I guess now Patterson checks out as Lucas checks in. I'm not sure what went on there, but it's 24-16. Homestead leads, 3:59 to go in the second quarter. A little over halfway through the second quarter.
I believe it was a scoreboard error. Had Bree Lucas already checked into the game.
Starks gives it over to Swing across his half court, now at the top of the key. Takes it back out beyond the arc on the left side. Dribbles near half court. Starks calls out a play for the Homestead offense. Parker, double team, gives it over to Graber now. Graber throws it over to Starks. Starks looks for a teammate. Fancy dribble move as she goes down low and she scores, and the foul. So Solaire Starks playing extremely well in this one. I believe she's up to 11 points.
13 actually. Solaire Starks with one of her best performances of the game of the year, already surpassing her season average of 11 points.
26-16. Homestead leads a 10-point lead as Starks knocks down the free throw. 27-16. Homestead leads, 3:30 to go in the second quarter. Jones crosses the timeline for the Archers. Dangerous pass is tipped out of bounds by Swing. It will still be Southside ball as they trail Homestead by 11. It feels much closer than that 11-point margin right now, as it's been a very close game the entire way. Smith with it near midcourt. 27-16, 3:15 to go in the second quarter. Homestead leads over Southside as Hackbarth hands it off to Smith. Gets a screen from Jones. Smith draws the foul on Parker, who I believe that will be her second personal foul, as Southside now in the 1-and-1. So it'll be Smith going to the line for the Archers. 27-16, 11-point lead for Homestead. 3:06 to go in the second quarter.
Southside doing a good job playing aggressive in this one, drawing fouls on the Spartans, getting free throws now as a result of it.
Smith knocks down the first free throw, front end of a 1-and-1. It's now a 10-point margin. Southside cuts the lead to 10. 3:06 to go in the second quarter as Smith misses the second free throw. 27-17, Homestead leads. Starks has the ball for the Spartans. Under 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Homestead leads by 10. Starks sees a screen from Lucas. She puts up a shot. It's no good. Rebound is fought for. Eventually grabbed by Chapman. Smith wants to push it for the Archers. Throws it over to Smith now. That three is no good. Rebound goes to Homestead. Starks has it. Guarded closely by Smith. Goes behind her back a few times. Gets across half court. She's now double teamed. Bounce pass to Swing under the basket. She scores. Haley Swing playing very, very well the past few games. Scored a season-high 15 last night against Wayne. She scores right there. 29-17. Homestead leads, 12-point lead for the Spartans. 2:12 to go in the second quarter. Smith has it now at the top of the key. Thought about the three. She drives inside. She's rejected by Lucas. Lucas passes to Parker on the other end of the court, and Parker scores the wide-open layup as Homestead extends their lead to 14 points, under 2 minutes to go in the first half. 31-17 is the score. Homestead leads over Southside in the sectional championship game. Homestead coming off a dominant win over Wayne last night. Southside coming off a dominant win over Muncie Central last night. As Smith has it for the Archers, hands it off to Jones. She takes a three. That's no good. Graber grabs the rebound for the Spartans, who gets it back from Starks. Graber inside the arc, gives it back out to Starks, who's beyond the arc at the top of the key. Over to Parker now, who just made the wide open layup. Possession to go. Starks now on the right side. Finds swing at the top of the key. Over to Parker now on the left side. Homestead a 14-point lead. Graber, top of the key, three. That's no good, and the rebound goes to Southside. As Morris has it, passes right to Starks. Pass is stolen. Solaire Starks on the other end. She's rejected. Hoping to draw the foul. No foul call there, so Southside on the other end as Jones scores the layup. They've got the lead to only 12 now. Homestead 31, Southside 19. 45 seconds to go in the second quarter. Lucas crosses the timeline for the Spartans. Starks has it down to 37 seconds. Homestead a 12-point lead, 31-19 in the first half. Parker now. Bounce pass over to Swing, and that was nowhere near Swing as it goes out of bounds. Another turnover on the Spartan Southside ball.
Homestead right now playing a great first half of basketball against a very tough Southside team. Southside's really bringing it, but Homestead playing at another level right now.
And Grace Sullivan checks in for Riley Parker for the Spartans. 31-19, 27 seconds to go in the second quarter. Homestead has the lead. Southside with possession, likely looking to hold for a final shot of the quarter. Down to 18 seconds. Smith with it. Gives it to Hackbarth in the right corner, back out to Jones. Takes a deep three-pointer. That's in and out. Rebound goes to Chapman. She loses the ball as it's knocked out of bounds. They say will be Homestead ball. 6.1 seconds to go in the first half. 31. Homestead, Southside only has 19. So Homestead with a 12-point lead, looking to maybe score some points in the final 6.1 seconds or so. Southside in a full-court press. Starks has it on the left side. Down to 4 seconds. Starks takes a three-pointer at the buzzer. That is no good. As Swing was actually able to throw up a shot before time expired, and I believe they say it's good. I thought the time had surely expired, but Haley Swing just threw up a ridiculous shot, and she somehow gets it to go as Homestead extends their lead to 14 points at the half, 33-19. Homestead over Southside by 14 points.
Homestead had a great half of basketball right there, really playing good defense, and the offense. You gotta love the performance by Solaire Stark. This is a performance from a senior. Hasn't had quite the year she expected, but still very good. But this is what makes you hopeful that this Homestead team could go very deep in the tournament when you get a performance like this from Solaire Stark. She's doing what seniors need to do and step up in the big moment. Having a great game in Haley Swing as well. 8 points, including that one we just saw at the buzzer, so she's playing very well. And Homestead doing everything right now. And Southside, they're playing a pretty solid game, but Homestead just looks a lot better.
And that will take us to the conclusion of the first half as Homestead leads Southside 33-19, a 14-point lead for the Spartans at the break. And when we come back, we will take a look at the leading scores for each team, along with what each team needs to do differently in the second half. So stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Homestead Spartan Basketball, the Point 91 FM.
Homestead athletic coverage on the Point 91 FM is brought to you by
Arby's at Coventry, located at 5755 Falls Drive across from Zesto's. Arby's is more than roast beef, with turkey, ham, brisket, bacon, and chicken tenders. Arby's has the meats. Arby's at Coventry is open for breakfast at 6 a.m. all the way to midnight. To find more information, find Arby's on social media and online at arbys.com.
Casa Italian Restaurants, family owned and operated since 1977, with 4 Fort Wayne locations: West Jefferson Boulevard, DuPont Road, Parnell Avenue, and Stellhorn Road. Featuring the Casa Bro salad, wood-burning brick oven pizzas, and over 30 pasta selections. Dine-in or carry-out available, or let Casa cater your next special occasion. Find more information at CasaRestaurants.com or by following Casa on Facebook and Twitter. Casa Italian Restaurants, a proud sponsor of WCYT Sports Broadcasts.
Okay, here are 3 important reasons why your son or daughter should play a sport in high school.
Number 1.
High school sports teach valuable life lessons like self-discipline and time management skills.
2.
Teens who play a high school sport have better grade point averages.
And number 3.
High school sports are safer than ever before.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Moe's Southwest Grill, located at 6739 West Jefferson Boulevard, next to Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin Robbins. You can contact Moe's by calling 969-MOE's or for catering, that number is 969-EATS. Moe's specializes in southwestern foods like burritos, tacos, and nachos with no microwaves or freezers. You can visit Moe's online at moes.com. Thank you, Moe's, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead athletic coverage on our station.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco's specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carry out by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
We all come together and stand together to serve our veterans. We invest in the latest technology.
We take the time to train the next generation of doctors and nurses. We work together to make sure we heal their bodies and their minds.
This is our mission. More than 300,000 of us working as one, together with families and loved ones. No matter where they live in this country, we'll be there.
We stand strong, united. Stand with us in caring for our veterans.
And now let's head back out to the gymnasium for more Homestead Lady Spartan basketball right here on the Point 91 FM.
Welcome back live to Homestead High School at the site of tonight's sectional championship game. Homestead leads Southside at the half 33-19, so the Spartans have a 14-point lead at the break. Both teams' offense is playing very well, I would say, even though Southside is trailing by 14. Their offense has played pretty decent against this very good Homestead defense. And Donnie, you have a scoring summary for us.
Well, for Homestead right now, they were let in scoring in that first half by Stolaire Stark with her 14 points. Haley Swing was second with 8, and Sydney Graber had a quick 6. Kara Geely hit 1 3-pointer, and Riley Parker had a fast break lay-in. And then for Southside, they were let in scoring by a freshman point guard, Olivia Smith, who had 8 points. J.C. Jones had 7, when Elia Chapman and Darian Hackbarth each had 2. No scoring from Lamaya Woodson or Talasia Morris, however. So Southside, not the deepest of teams, and they're not getting a ton of production throughout right now, which has mainly been Olivia Smith and J.C. Jones. A big reason why the Lady Archers only have 19 points at halftime.
So Homestead, they have 33 points right now after the first half. 2 quarters of play in the previous first half of both games, so 4 total quarters of play. The first and second quarters of each of the previous 2 games, Homestead only scored 34 points. They have 33 in the first half today. What has been working for them so well in this one?
Well, for Homestead, they're just playing great defense, and that opens up a lot of opportunities on the offensive end, whether it be in transition or just in general when you get turnovers, when you just can't, when you stop the team from scoring, it takes a lot of pressure off of your offense. So Homestead's defense, a big reason why they're up front like this right now, but Homestead, their offense doing very good as well, and Stolaire Stark's a big reason for that with 14 points.
So Homestead, they have the 14-point advantage at the break. They're playing Southside very, very well. You could say for Homestead, we got them right where we want them as they lead by 14. Right now, Homestead 23-3 overall on the season. They have not lost a conference game on the season. They've already beaten Southside twice earlier on in the season, but they were pretty close games, a 13-point win and a 15-point win, and that's going to take us to our second break of this halftime show as Homestead leads 33 to Southside's 19 points after the end of the first half.
Homestead athletic coverage on the Point 91 FM is brought to you by
Arby's at Coventry, located at 5755 Falls Drive across from Zesto's. Arby's is more than roast beef, with turkey, ham, brisket, bacon, and chicken tenders. Arby's has the meats. Arby's at Coventry is open for breakfast at 6 a.m. all the way to midnight. To find more information, find Arby's on social media and online at arbys.com.
Casa Italian Restaurants, family owned and operated since 1977, with 4 Fort Wayne locations: West Jefferson Boulevard, DuPont Road, Parnell Avenue, and Stellhorn Road, featuring the Casa Bro salad, wood-burning brick oven pizzas, and over 30 pasta selections. Dine-in or carry-out available, or let Casa cater your next special occasion. Find more information at CasaRestaurants.com or by following Casa on Facebook and Twitter. Casa Italian Restaurants, a proud sponsor of WCYT Sports Broadcasts.
Okay, here are 3 important reasons why your son or daughter should play a sport in high school.
Number 1.
High school sports teach valuable life lessons like self-discipline and time management skills.
2.
Teens who play a high school sport have better grade point averages.
And number 3.
High school sports are safer than ever before.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Moe's Southwest Grill, located at 6739 West Jefferson Boulevard, next to Dunkin' Donuts Baskin-Robbins. You can contact Moe's by calling 969-MOE's, or for catering, that number is 969-EATS. Moe's specializes in southwestern foods like burritos, tacos, and nachos with no microwaves or freezers. You can visit Moe's online at moes.com. Thank you, Moe's, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead athletic coverage on our station.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco's specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carry out by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
We all come together and stand together to serve our veterans. We invest in the latest technology.
We take the time to train the next generation of doctors and nurses. We work together to make sure we heal their bodies and their minds.
This is our mission. More than 300,000 of us working as one, together with families and loved ones. No matter where they live in this country, we'll be there.
We stand strong, united. Stand with us in caring for our veterans.
And now let's head back out to the gymnasium for more Homestead Lady Spartan basketball right here on the Point 91 FM.
Welcome back live to Homestead High School as we are at the site of tonight's sectional championship game. Sectional number 6 in Class 4A. Homestead leads over Southside 33-19 at the half. Homestead, how did they get here? Well, they beat Wayne 76-13 last night, a 63-point win for the Spartans over a one-win Wayne team on the season. Wayne season ends to one of the best teams in the entire state. Homestead ranked 5th in Class 4A. I think that's a little bit lower than what they should be, but Southside 16-7 on the season, 7-2 in the SAC. Southside, they do have quite a few losses, 7 overall on the season, but they play Homestead pretty close in each of the times that they have played. Southside coming off a 30-point win against Huntington North Tuesday night in a dominant 91-43 win last night against Muncie Central. They've had to play an extra game because there's 5 teams in this sectional. Homestead got a bye. Southside had to play one extra. Southside currently on a 4-game winning streak. That's actually the longest active winning streak in the SAC right now. So it's 33-19. Homestead leads over Southside as we're just about to begin the third quarter as Solaire Starks led Homestead in scoring with 14 points. She played very well in this one. Homestead ball as Graber has it for the Spartans on the right side. She goes inside the paint and she puts up a shot. She is fouled. So 6 seconds into the third quarter, Homestead already has a chance at a few more points as Sydney Graber will go to the free throw line, shoot a couple. 70% on the season. That's respectable from the junior.
And Homestead's done everything they've done this game without Ayanna Patterson scoring. So coming into this game, you said Ayanna Patterson wouldn't score to this point, and they'd be up by now 15. I would say you're crazy.
So Graber made the first free throw, and that's actually very surprising. If you're Southside and you could limit Ayanna Patterson to basically doing nothing on offense and you're still losing by 15, it really shows how the other players on this Homestead team stepped up as Homestead extends their lead to 16 points, 35-19, 7:50 to go in the third quarter. Graber just made both free throws there as Smith has it over to Jones. Now at the top of the key, guarded by Geely. Gets a screen from Woodson. She hands it over to Chapman now. Chapman looks for a teammate. Ball tipped by Solaire Starks. Somehow Chapman recovers, they say, an over and back, so a turnover on the opening possession for Southside of the third quarter as Talasia Morris checks in for Darian Hackbarth for the Archers. Some Southside fans not too happy about the calls. 35-19, Homestead leads, 16-point advantage for the Spartans, 7:29 to go in the third quarter in this sectional championship game. Swing, she finds Geely right under the basket. Haley Swing scoring well in this one, also with a great assist there as Geely now up to 5 points. And this one is 44 seconds into the third quarter. Southside head coach Juanita Goodwell already calls a timeout Homestead extends their lead to 18 points, 37-19, 7:16 to go in the third quarter.
And what a beautiful pass from Haley Swing there to find Kara Geely cutting to the basket. Senior guard doesn't often make too many cuts or score most of her points around the rim, but a great cut there and a great find by Swing. And Homestead came out at halftime, and they're playing great basketball already. Southside had to come out hot and wanted to get back in this one, but Homestead with the advantage right now.
This is basically the opposite of what we've seen in the first two games. We're used to seeing Southside not dominate Homestead, but get out to a little bit of a lead, but this one it's been all Homestead from the start. Southside, I believe, they tied the game up at 12, but then Homestead, they outscored them 7-0 from that point in the first quarter to end up with a 19-12 lead after one. It's 37-19. Homestead leads right now. 7:16 to go in the third quarter. These are the two best teams in the SAC in the same sectional, and you mentioned earlier, Southside or Homestead has won this sectional every year since 2006, so it's basically a two-team sectional. These two teams are always at the top of the class in sectional. They're usually the top of their conference, although Homestead did just move into the SAC a few years ago. They were at the top of their old conference as well. Homestead with 37 points already, about 44 seconds into the third quarter. A great offensive performance already for the Spartans. They scored 76 last night. That'd be very shocking if they could beat that against a very good Southside defense. Southside with the ball as Smith has it. She goes inside, kicks it back out as an air ball by Chapman. The three-pointer in the right corner was an air ball. She's had difficulty shooting tonight. Homestead up 37-19, 7:06 to go in the third quarter. As Chapman to inbound. Or Southside gets it to Jones in the left corner, guarded by Patterson. Jones beyond the arc. Pass is stolen by Patterson. She goes behind her back. She crosses the timeline. Patterson goes behind her back again. Loses the ball as Jones steals it. For Southside, on the other end of the court, Jones lost it. Out of bounds, so a turnover on Southside. The refs talking about it now. They might give Southside the ball back. Say it was tipped out of bounds. But Homestead with a 37-19 lead. 6:50 to go in the third quarter.
Homestead continuing to play great defense. Southside's going to have a tough time getting back in this one, especially with this Spartan defense.
So they reversed the call, I believe. So Southside ball under their own basket. Chapman to inbound for the Archers. Bounce pass to Morris, who throws it back out to Smith. Now on the left side, guarded by Geely. Smith, very good score for this Southside team, only a freshman. Gets a screen from Chapman. Smith drives inside, puts up a floating jump shot, and she banks it in. The first basket of this second half for Southside. It's now 37-21, 6:26 to go in the third quarter. A swing as it Homestead still hasn't crossed half court. Patterson with the ball now. She finally crosses half court. Patterson drives inside the paint, but she lost it. Out of bounds. Wasn't tipped, so another turnover on the Spartans. Southside ball. They trail by 16 now. 6:17 to go in the third quarter, 37-21. Homestead leads in the sectional final match. Smith, guarded by Geely, on the left side of the court now. Gets a screen. Smith doesn't use it. Throws it over to Chapman now. Goes under the basket, and she puts up a right-handed shot as Chapman scores for the Archers. They cut to a 14-point deficit now. Homestead still quite a comfortable lead, but Southside slowly cutting away at it. Graber now on the left side. Bounce pass over to Patterson at the Spartan logo. Patterson tosses it over to Geely, who passes it to Starks, who scored 14 points in the first half. Starks loses the ball off her foot. Geely recovers it, passes to Graber under the basket, and Sydney Graber scores directly under the basket once again. Homestead now back up to a 16-point lead. Jones has it on the right side. She takes a three. That's no good. Hit the back of the iron. Rebound goes to Woodson. Smith's trying to get it. They will call a foul on Homestead. It's 39-23, 5:13 to go in the third quarter. Homestead leads a 16-point advantage. So Kara Geely checks out for Riley Parker, as that was Kara Geely's third personal foul this one. 5 is the foul limit in high school. Smith to inbound for the Archers. Her team is down by 16. 5:13 to go in the third quarter. The freshman Smith has it at the top of the key, guarded by Parker, who just checked in for Geely. Smith gets a screen from Jones. She takes a deep three of her own. That is no good. Rebound goes to Graber for Homestead. Graber hands it off to Solaire Starks. That was a double dribble. She thought about passing it all the way across the court. Wasn't the right, she didn't think it was the right choice. Cost them a turnover right there, as it will be Southside ball. 39-23. Homestead lead, still a 16-point lead for the Spartans, but quite a few mistakes early on in this third quarter. Jones with the ball in her hands for Southside, a very dangerous three-point shooter. She passes over to Woodson, who tries to pass to Morris as it just goes out of bounds. A turnover on Southside. Homestead with quite a few turnovers of their own, but Southside not really doing much as they turn it over as well. Swing and bounds to Parker. Southside in a full court press. Parker gets across the timeline. Now with the Spartan logo, Coach Parker calls out a play. Parker picks up a dribble, passes over to Starks. Parker now on the left side. Over to Starks now along the baseline. Finds a swing. She throws it out for Parker, who goes inside the paint. They call a travel on that one. It could have been a foul called on Southside, but Homestead with yet another turnover. Southside not able to do much as they still trail by 16 points, 39-23, 4:18 to go in the third quarter. Smith crosses the timeline. It's a screen from Jones. Smith now guarded by Starks. Gets another screen from Woodson. Smith along the left baseline. She drives in. Shot is no good. Rebound goes to Morris as she puts up a shot. A foul called on Ayanna Patterson, I believe. So Morris will, that is a foul on Patterson. Morris will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. That was Patterson's third personal foul.
It looked like a clean block to me. Good position. Not too sure about that one.
So Morris misses the first free throw. You can't do that if you're Southside and you want to come back and not lose to Homestead for the third time this season, as Brianna Lucas checks into this one. As Ayanna Patterson takes a seat with 3 personal fouls for the Spartans. Morris missed the first free throw, which she knocks down the second one to cut it to 15 points as Jasmine Combs checks in for the first time, I believe, in this one for Southside. Only averages about 4.4 points per game for this Lady Archer team. Starks has the ball for the Spartans. Guarded closely by Jones. Throws it over to Parker. Lucas now on the left baseline. Parker gets a screen from Starks. Parker picks up her dribble. She finds Graber now. Graber goes inside the arc at the free throw line. Tries to pass it over to Parker. Parker has the ball now. She throws it to swing. Homestead still with the ball. 39-24, the Spartans lead by 15, under 3.5 to go in the third quarter. Graber fakes a 3-point shot. She drives inside the paint and puts up a shot that is no good, and rebound is fought for, eventually recovered by Homestead. That was Swing. Swing with the offensive rebound. Homestead still with possession. Swing looks for someone. She finds Lucas in the right corner. Lucas hands it off to Parker. Homestead still by 15 as we approach the 3-minute mark in the third quarter. Starks now on the left side. She drives inside as a foul is called. I believe it will be on the floor.
And Solaire Starks been much quieter in this second half. Hasn't scored yet.
39-24, 15-point lead for Homestead. 2:59 to go in the third quarter. Parker to inbound. She finds Haley Swing with a wide open shot. She misses it. Lucas the offensive rebound. She is fouled. Took a shot, no good, but she will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Good job by Bree Lucas on the glass there, and Southside can't be giving up offensive rebounds when they're already down 15 at this stage in the game.
So Lucas will go to the free throw line. She's also a 70% free throw shooter this season as the first free throw rolls around and it's in. Homestead up to 40 points now. Their offense is really slowed down in this third quarter. Southside's defense playing very well as Chapman checks out, as Hackbarth checks back in. For Southside, as Homestead still leads by 16. Under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, 2:55 to be exact. Lucas' second free throw is good. It's now a 17-point lead for Homestead, 41-24, 2:52 to go in the third quarter. Jones with the ball. She really needs to get going on offensive. Southside wants a chance as Jones scores under the basket. J.C. Jones scores for the Archers. They cut it to a 15-point deficit now. Homestead with the ball. Starks has it on the right side of the court. Ball is nearly stolen, but a foul is called. Smith nearly got away with the steal, but she is instead called with her second personal foul in this game. Southside fans booing the refs.
A lot of energy in the arena for this game. It's been an exciting one despite the 15-point differential.
This one has definitely felt much closer than that. It's been very loud here at Homestead High School the entire way. Swing, puts up a shot, and she knocks it down. Haley Swing stepping up for this Homestead team when Ayanna Patterson not really doing too much on the offensive end. On the other end, Swing nearly gets the steal, but Smith recovers it for Southside. Over to Combs now, who hasn't played much in this one. A deep pass over to Hackbarth in the right corner. Tries to pass it to Jones. They say it was knocked out of bounds. Head coach Juanita Goodwill talking to the ref now. Will still be Southside ball as Hackbarth inbounds to Jones. Foul is called on Homestead as they still lead by 17 points, 43-26, 2:03 to go in the third quarter. So I believe that was Riley Parker's third foul of the game. She'll likely check out of this one.
Homestead is getting some players in foul trouble. Multiple people have 3 fouls right now.
Hackbarth to inbound for the Archers under their own basket as they trail by 17, 2:03 to go in the third quarter. Loose ball, turned over on Southside. Homestead ball in the full court. And Sullivan checks in for Parker as Parker goes to the bench with 3 fouls. Sullivan only has 1 personal foul. Actually, of all the 5 players on the court, there's only 1 combined foul for Homestead, and that's Sullivan's 1 personal foul. So players on the court right now not really in any foul trouble. Graber has it on the left side. The junior gives it back to Sullivan, the sophomore. She hands it off to Graber in the left corner. Bounce pass over to Lucas. Near the top of the key over to Starks. Starks goes inside the arc. Drives in the paint. She's rejected by Hackbarth. Hackbarth on the other end. I believe a foul is called. Hackbarth just rejected Solaire Starks.
And what a defensive play by Darian Hackbarth there. And that's the play that Southside's going to need to make if they want to come back in this one.
That was Haley Swing's first personal foul. Swing, one of the best players on this Homestead team the past few days, as the free throw is no good by Hackbarth, the first of 2. Swing playing very well on offense, scoring quite a bit. She scored a season-high 15 last night against Wayne, making a few great passes as well. She had a very nice assist to Kara Geely earlier on in the game as Hackbarth knocks down the second free throw. It's 43-27, 1:35 to go in the third quarter. Homestead leads by 16 in the sectional championship. Swing goes under her basket. She is fouled. She draws the foul. Haley Swing, the team's best free throw shooter at 86% on the season, will go to the line as chance to extend this Homestead lead, as that was Chapman's second personal foul this one.
And Homestead, if they hit free throws, it's going to be tough for Southside to come back.
Swing made that first one. She's almost automatic at the line. Homestead leads 44-27, 1:28 to go in the third quarter. Swing's second free throw, that is too strong. A rare miss at the line for the senior Haley Swing, but the offensive rebound goes to the Spartans. Sullivan takes a 3. That's no good. Was close as Jones grabs the rebound for Southside as they trail by 17, 1:15 to go in the third quarter. Foul called on Homestead. Weren't too many fouls in the first quarter, but been a very physical game since then. That was Grace Sullivan's second personal foul. 44-27, Homestead leads, 1:14 to go in the third quarter. Southside ball is Hackbarth. She finds Jones in the left corner. Step back 3, and boom goes the dynamite as J.C. Jones knocks down the step back 3 to cut the lead to 14. Only a 14-point deficit now for the Lady Archers. Under a minute to go in the third quarter, 44-30. Homestead leads. Graber now hands it off to Starks. Homestead likely to hold for the final shot here, you would think. As the ball's knocked around, it's stolen by Southside, and Combs the very bad pass to Smith as it goes out of bounds. Southside nearly had the steal, but it will stay Homestead ball, 44-30. 43 seconds to go in the third quarter. Homestead by 14 right now. Homestead still has the ball. Sullivan down to 38 seconds in this third quarter. It's a screen from Swing. Sullivan on the left side now passes to Swing in the top of the key. Over to Sullivan once again on the left side, down to 25 seconds. Homestead leads by 14 points in the sectional championship game. Homestead really passing the ball around on the outside a lot now. Swing has it at the Spartan logo. Down to 17 seconds. Swing still with it for the Spartans. Hands it off to Starks. Starks finally goes inside the arc. A very nice move as Solaire Starks scores under the basket, down to 3 seconds to go. Jones will need to take a deep three-pointer from the Spartan logo. That's an air ball. It was straight on, but it's not enough strength as Homestead leads this one 46-30 after 3 quarters. Southside responded nicely to start the third quarter, but Homestead really kept their lead strong, still at 16 points. It's not quite out of reach yet, not quite in miracle range for Southside. Still only 16 points, 8 minutes to go in this fourth quarter, but Homestead's been playing very well in this one.
They've been playing very well indeed. Good ball movement. They haven't turned the ball over very much, and they've scored the ball well inside, knocked down some shots when they've come in Southside. They're going to have to find a way to score because this Homestead defense, very tough to score on, and they're going to have to start knocking down some shots.
We actually have a score update for some of you college basketball fans. IU and Michigan State go into overtime. That one should be an exciting game to watch, although this one is also very exciting to watch right now at Homestead High School as Homestead leads Southside by 16 points heading into the fourth quarter. And what do you think head coach Juanita Goodwill is telling her team right now to get back in this one?
Well, I think she's got to try and draw in some plays for either Olivia Smith and J.C. Jones behind the arc. They got to get them going. They're going to have to start knocking down some big shots if they want to come back in this one. And they're going to have to find a way to do it fast because Southside is going to take a lot if they want to come back.
Both teams' offense is playing better than the previous 2 matchups. 46-30 would be about a score we expected from the previous 2 as Homestead won the first one 43-30, then won the second one 48-33. Homestead has not lost to an SAC opponent this year. All of their losses coming to teams outside of the area. It will be Southside ball to start the fourth quarter. 8 minutes on the clock. Chance to the advance to regionals next Saturday on the line. Homestead looks like they're in control right now, but Southside needs to get something going on offense if they want to somehow upset Homestead and win against them for the first time this season after dropping 2 games earlier on in the season. Smith with the ball. Hands it over to Chapman now on the right side. Bounce pass right to Sydney Graber was stolen. Homestead with the ball as Graber gives it to Geely. Geely slows it down now for the Spartans. 46-30. Homestead leads 7:31 to go in the fourth. Patterson under the basket. She hasn't really done too much this one. Still throws up a shot and she is fouled. Shot was no good. She shot the ball pretty well from the free throw line last night against Wayne. Patterson not really doing much in this one at all.
It's been a tough go for Patterson in this one, but she's got to put in the back of the mind here at the free throw line. Other players have stepped up, which has been huge for Homestead, though.
Patterson knocks down the first free throw. 47-30. Homestead leads now. I believe that was Patterson's first point of the game, was it not?
It was.
Very surprising, considering she scored 28 points about a week ago against Northrop. Patterson knocked down the second one as well, so 48-30. Homestead leads 18-point lead for the Spartans. 7:20 to go in the fourth quarter. As Smith has it, gets a screen from Jones. Still beyond the arc, hands it off to Jones. She takes a three-pointer. She swishes it. J.C. Jones cuts the lead to 15 now. Homestead still up, 48-33. 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. This was the exact score of the second matchup these two teams played. As swing on the other end, she's rejected by Woodson, but she stepped out of bounds. 48-33 was the score of the January 4th game when these two teams played a little over just about a month ago or so. But it will be Homestead ball under their own basket. Geely to inbound. She finds Starks in the left corner, who hands it. Actually, she still has it along the baseline. Gives it to Graber under the basket. Graber maneuvering around the court, and she scores. 50-33, the Spartans lead now. 6:38 to go in the fourth quarter. Smith with it as Chapman takes a rare three-pointer. We haven't seen her shoot too many outside shots. Patterson gets the rebound on the other end for the Spartans. She puts up a shot, and they will say it's a blocking foul. So Patterson going on the other end, the court for the Spartans. She will go to the free throw line once again, 2 of the 2 at the line.
And the Southside fans not too happy about it, but that was the right call there. Didn't get back on and get her feet set, slid right into Patterson.
That was Alea Chapman's third personal foul. So Patterson knocks down the free throw. She's now up to 3 points in this one. Very surprising. She leads the team in scoring about 13 points per game as well. Very good shooter, about 56% from the field. Patterson's second free throw is good as well. So 4 points for Patterson, still without a field goal, but 4-4 at the line. 52-33, Spartans lead. 6:23 to go in the fourth quarter as Smith has it, who's guarded by Stark. Smith takes it back out beyond the arc, goes back in. At the free throw line, gives it to Jones in the right corner. She takes a three-pointer. That's an air ball that was too strong, as they will say it was last touched by Southside. So Homestead ball as they lead 52-33, 6:09 to go in the fourth quarter.
Homestead really starting to pull away in this one. Southside's going to have to get some turnovers here.
Graber with the ball for the Spartans. Starks has it now, gives it to Patterson on the right side. Patterson loses the ball as it's stolen by Jones for Southside. Her team down by 19, in need of a basket. Jones goes beyond the arc. She takes the three. That's no good. Rebound goes to Woodson. She can't get the second chance points. Patterson on the other end of the court for the Spartans. She pulls up. Mid-range two-pointer as rebound is fought for. Eventually recovered by Jones for Southside. Her team still down by 19. One-handed pass for Smith, who takes a wide-open three. That's an air ball. Southside cannot hit his shot right now. 52-33. Homestead leads 5:32 to go in the fourth quarter, and Southside has gone cold shooting the ball right now. They were within 10 points or so for most of the first half, but right now it's gotten a little bit out of hand as they now trail by 19 points.
And Southside just not hitting the shots they need to if they want to stay in it. Average just under 60 a game on the year, only at 33 right now, and a big reason for that, obviously, the Homestead defense. But Southside just not hitting the shots they need to hit when they have the open ones. Smith and Jones, yeah, they're scoring, but they haven't been real efficient in this one. And because of that, Homestead running away with it.
So the winner of this game will go to regionals next week. We'll play the winner of the Zionsville sectional, and based on a score I saw earlier, it will be Zionsville that they will play in the regional semifinals. And a little early to say right now, but the number one team in the state, Hamilton Southeastern, could potentially make it to the regional championship, which either one of these teams could play. Hamilton Southeastern plays Carmel tonight, a very much improved Carmel team from the start of the season when Homestead beat them by 21, I believe. Under first-year head coach, a lot of changes with players and a coaching staff, but Carmel's really rebounded well. They take on the number one ranked team in the state. That should be a good one. But
and if Homestead wants to get through regionals, they'll have to go through Hamilton Southeastern, as we can figure that Hamilton Southeastern will kill whoever they play from Carroll's sectional.
Starks cross-court pass to Graber, who crosses half-court now. Hands it to Geely near the mid-court line. Graber now swing at the top of the key. 52-33, 5:13 to go in the fourth quarter. Homestead leads as Geely drives towards the basket, and she scores the layup. Geely, not the most aggressive player, but she's now up to 7 points in this one. On the other end, Chapman goes up for the shot as it was no good. A foul is called there, I believe, on Anna Patterson. I believe that's actually her fourth personal foul, so one more and she's out. She'll likely get checked out of this game as Chapman will go to the free throw line for Southside. They still trail. They trail by 21 now. Let's trail only by 20 now.
And Patterson's been in foul trouble all game, but up 20 right now, it hasn't really affected the Spartans and probably won't affect them down the stretch.
54-34. Homestead leads a 20-point lead for the Spartans as the second free throw is no good by Chapman. Rebound is fought for. It's called timeout by Homestead. Coach Rod Parker Smart play there to call the timeout as his team and Southside were fighting for the ball on the ground. It's 54-34, 4:57 to go in the fourth quarter. Looks like Homestead is, well, there's still quite a bit of time. I don't want to guarantee anything right yet, but it'll take quite a few Southside made three-pointers if they want to come back on this one.
It's definitely going to take quite a few three-pointers. Jones and Smith are going to have to play great for Southside if they want to have any chance of coming back in it. It's going to take some luck if you're the Archers, I think.
For sure it's going to take some luck. Homestead has not really played too well tonight. They've committed quite a few turnovers. Solaire Starks was really heated up in the first half, scored 14 points in the first half. She hasn't really done too much here in the second half, but it's been okay as Homestead still has a 20-point lead under 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter of the sectional championship game. The last 15 years, Homestead has won 15 of the 29 games, so 15-14 advantage over Southside. The past 15 years these two teams have played as Geely passes over to Parker now. She passes over to Geely, the Homestead logo. Parker now on the right side of the court, picks up a dribble, looks for someone, finds Geely in the right corner, gets a screen from swing over to Graber, fakes a three-pointer, goes inside, kicks it back out for Parker, her own three-pointer, got it! Riley Parker knocks down the three-pointer for the Spartans. They extend their lead to 23 points under 4.5 minutes to go on the other end. J.C. Jones takes a three, that's no good. Rebound goes to Homestead and they lead by 23 right now, 4:19 to go in the fourth quarter. Parker just knocked down the three-pointer for the Spartans. Throws it over to Starks. Back to Graber. Geely now on the left side. Geely's played very well in this one for the Spartans as well. 57-34, 4:05 to go in the fourth quarter. Homestead leads, 23-point lead for the Spartans. Foul called on Southside. I believe that will be on Darian Hackbarth. That was her fourth foul, so a lot of players with foul trouble as Combs checks in for Hackbarth. 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, exactly the halfway point. Homestead leads by 23, 57-34. They've done a great job limiting the Southside team who scored 91 points last night against Muncie Central. So Haley Swing at the free throw line for the Spartans, knocks down the first free throw for Homestead. They now have a 24-point lead. It will take quite a bit if Southside wants to come back on this one. Swing, the team's best free throw shooter, knocks down both of them right there. Homestead out by 25, 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Jones with the ball for the Archers. Not been able to hit their shots recently. Smith takes a wide open three-pointer. That's another air ball. Southside just cannot seem to hit any shot right now, even on the open looks. Homestead's running away with this one. Still there. Just a little bit of time left. 3:48 to go in the fourth quarter. Homestead's up by 25, 59-34. Starks with the ball for the Spartans as Geely now has it on the left side. Passes over to Graper, who passes to Starks in the right corner. Finds Graber under the basket as Graber hesitates and then puts up the shot and she scores. Sydney Graber with the basket for the Spartans. They now lead by quite a wide margin as ball nearly stolen. 61-34, 3:18 to go in the fourth quarter as Chapman goes underneath the basket and she scores, so the scoring drought ends for Southside. But they still trail by 25 to Homestead. 3:08 to go in the fourth quarter. Geely crosses the timeline for the Spartans. Looks for someone to pass to. Hands it off to Starks, who goes inside the arc. Graber and Homestead now content to hold it for a little while. They lead by 25, 61-36, 2:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Graber takes a deep two-pointer. That is no good. Rebound goes to Haley Swing as she is fouled. Team's best free throw shooter will get a chance to add to this 25-point Homestead lead right now. 2:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Southside really not able to do much on offense in the second half. After it was a pretty close first half, even though Homestead still had a double-digit lead, it felt much closer, but Homestead's really run away with this one in the second half.
And it's a positive sign for Homestead. Ayanna Patterson's able to have her worst game of the year, and they're still able to win.
Surprisingly, Swing missed the front end of a 1-and-1. Good luck for Southside. The team's best free throw shooter misses a free throw right there, and they get the ball on the other end, but they need to score quick as they trail by 25, 2:30 to go in the fourth quarter of the sectional championship game between Homestead and Southside. Jones cannot hit the baseline shot. goes out of bounds. It will still be Southside ball as Cassidy Connolly, the 5'8" sophomore guard, checks in as Chapman checks out for Southside. Homestead 61, Southside 36, 2:25 to go in the fourth quarter. Connolly inbounds to Jones in the right corner now. You know she wants to take a three. She takes a step back three-pointer. That was no good. Rebound goes to Southside. That was Combs. She is fouled, so she will get a chance at a couple of free throws now. They say it's actually a 1-and-1, I believe. That foul was on Slayer Starks, her first.
And a little too late for Southside to come back in this one. 2:16 left, down by this much.
Free throw is no good there by Combs. That's not something that you can do if you're Southside and you want to come back in this one, as Woodson goes to the bench as they bring out Peterson now for Southside. A lot of players in foul trouble for the Archers. Still the team's two leading scorers on the court, and Smith and Jones, as Combs misses the second free throw for Southside, and you would think that's got to be it. 2:08 to go. They trail by 25 against Homestead. Still, anything could happen. Homestead likely going to hold the ball, not commit any sloppy turnovers is what Coach Rod Parker would want. 61-36, Homestead leads 1:55 to go in the fourth quarter of the sectional championship game. Winner of this will advance to play Zionsville next Saturday in a regional semifinal matchup. Homestead fans cheering now. 1:40 to go. Now Homestead still by 25. Homestead content to hold the ball. This is where you would think Southside should probably start fouling. That's exactly what they do. Jones fouls. You would think if you're Southside, you want someone to foul that's not in foul trouble, as Jones commits her third foul of the game.
So Homestead right now, it's just a matter of how much they win by. This one's over.
Free throw by Parker is good. Homestead now 26-point lead over Southside.
One of the best all-around performances I think I've seen from the Spartans this year.
Parker knocks down both free throws as Homestead extends their lead to 27 points, 1:32 to go in the fourth quarter. Homestead won the first matchup by 13, the second one by 15. This one has been a little bit more out of hand. Southside on offense as Smith has it, throws it over to Combs, who passes out to Connolly, who drives inside. Now she kicks it back out. That was Pearson. That's no good, as Homestead have quite a few bench players set to check in that haven't played yet. This one is a lead by 27 points, 1:05 to go. Coach Rod Parker calls a timeout to get some of the other bench players in the game. Sophia Buck, Liv Seifert, Amber Austin, Julia Huey, and Grace Sullivan, as Homestead leads this one 63-36, 1:05 to go in the fourth quarter. Homestead is going to avenge their sectional loss from last year, a 64-62 loss to Southside in the first round of sectionals, as they currently lead by quite a few points right now, 27 to be exact, 63-36.
And what a great all-around performance from the Spartans in this one.
Sullivan with the ball now for the Spartans. 1 minute to go in this one. Homestead by 27. They're going to move on to a regional matchup next week as Buck loses the ball off her feet. It will be Southside ball. It's a little too late for that. Pearson to inbound, a 5'7" freshman, doesn't get a lot of playing time. As a deep three-pointer is attempted by Smith. It's no good. Once again, Seifert, the rebound, one of the 7 seniors on this Homestead roster. As Sullivan now has it, down to 38 seconds. You know these Homestead players want to shoot the ball, prove they got something. The bench players who don't play too much. Seifert now with the ball, passes over to Buck. Over to Sullivan now. Down to 26 seconds. Homestead 63, Southside 36. You would think Homestead will hold the ball the rest of the way. Likely not. Take a shot. Amber Austin with the ball, the sophomore. Huey now with it at the Homestead logo. Back to Buck now. Buck with it at the Spartan logo. Down to 3 seconds. And time runs out, and Homestead captures the sectional championship as they defeat Southside for the 3rd time this season by a score of to 36, and what a performance from the Homestead Spartans that was in this one.
What a performance indeed. What a great momentum to have heading in to regionals after a great all-around performance. The defense showed once again why one of the best defenses in the state. The offense played a good game and a great all-around team performance for Homestead in this one, able to get the huge win over Southside. It's not going to get any easier from here as they're going to have a tough matchup against Zionsville, first game in regionals, and they're able to win that. They're going to have to play Hamilton Southeastern, the best team in the state. So for Homestead, it's going to be a tough road to state if they want to win it.
So Homestead wins the sectional title 2019, 63-36 over Southside. They beat the Archers for the third time this season. They won the first matchup by 13 points, the second matchup by 15. They win this one by 27 points. Homestead ends Southside's 4-game losing streak, and more importantly, their season overall. Southside falls to 16-8 on the season. Homestead improves to 24-3 overall. I believe they're now 13-0 or 14-0 against conference teams this season. Let's look ahead to Southside's team next year. You have Olivia Smith and J.C. Jones, Elia Chapman all returning. Smith only a freshman, Jones and Chapman still a junior. I would expect to see the Southside team atop the SAC standings and compete with Homestead next year, as we know how much Homestead is losing in their 7 seniors. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if Homestead is challenged for the best record in the SAC next season.
Yeah, Southside gained a lot back. Olivia Smith only going to get better from here. The freshman point guard has an outstanding future with the Lady Archers, and J.C. Jones going to be back for his senior year. You get Elia Chapman back, your third leading scorer. Lamaya Woodson, just a sophomore, only really losing Darian Hackbarth and Talasia Morris. So this Southside team, they're going to be dangerous next year as well, gain much of their scoring back. Homestead losing a lot, so Southside, they fought hard in this one, wasn't nearly enough, but they're going to be a good team next year, and they're going to have a shot at sectional, so they just got to go and get to work in the offseason for the next season.
So Southside, they lose 4 seniors on this roster, but they return Smith, Jones, and Chapman, the team's 3 leading scorers. Quite a performance from Homestead in this sectional final game, and I believe you have a scoring summary for us.
Well, for Homestead, they were led in scoring by senior Solaire Starks, who had 16 points in this one, just 2 in the second half, but still a great first half performance. Sydney Graber had 14, senior Haley Swing had 13, Kara Geely and Riley Parker each had 7. Ayana Patterson had her worst game of the year, just 4 points, and Bree Lucas had 2 off the bench. And then for Southside, they were led by J.C. Jones, 15 points. Olivia Smith had 10. Elia Chapman had 7. Darian Hackbarth with 3. And Talasia Morris with 1.
So Homestead ends Southside season. They avenge their loss in sectionals last year. They win this one 63-36. And who would you call your player of the game in this one?
I'm going to give this one to Solaire Starks. The way she played in the first half really allowed Homestead to get out to that big lead and allowed them to carry it into the second half and win by 27.
And before we leave, we want to give a quick thanks to some of our sponsors, including Casa Ristorante, Moe's Southwest Grill, Arby's at Coventry, and Marco's Pizza at Illinois and Scott Road. We also want to give a very special thanks to our board operators and Mr. Andy Dunn back in the studio for their off-site producing, along with on-site producer Mr. Adam Schenkel for taking care of the arena and technology. Once again, your final score is Homestead 63, Southside 36. Homestead wins another sectional by defeating Southside for the 3rd time this season. For Donnie Harmon, I'm Matt Stallfrank. Thank you for listening to another presentation of Homestead Spartan Basketball on the Point 91 FM. Enjoy what is left of your Saturday, and we will see you right back here next Saturday morning as the Homestead girls will travel to take on Zionsville in a regional semifinal matchup. Signing off from Homestead High School, this has been another Homestead High School athletic event presented on the Point 91 FM.